Everybody's live. Happy Monday, everybody. Happy Monday. Marketing Monday here tonight. As you guys can see, well, you guys can't see, but I am on literally three different services right now. So I am here to basically talk to you guys today about tonight's topic. All right. As far as on Instagram, my topic is shut your business down. Okay. There's a reason why I'm talking about that particular topic tonight. All right. For those of you that are jumping in for the first time, welcome, welcome. Every Monday, I host a Marketing Monday talk where I talk about marketing tactics for personal brands, for businesses, just to be able to reach your clients, just to be able to reach your audience. And I have conversations here. Okay, so if you have heard anything that I might be talking about, and you have questions about them, please let me know. That way I can go ahead and answer those questions as well for you guys. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump right into it. Okay, so tonight's topic, shut down your business, is going off of some shit. Let's call it what it is. Some shit that I've been experiencing for the last couple weeks now. Okay, and the reason being is because I have been noticing that my page has been kind of taking off a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, not in no crazy dramatic way. Like, it's not like over 10K, not over 1 million followers, nothing like that. But the engagement says a lot of what exactly I am noticing and what I got going on, right? So with that, I have also been paying attention to how I have people interact with me. All right. Now, keep in mind, for those that do not even know nothing about who I am a photographer, I'm a videographer, and a marketing strategist. All right. So, but my industry or my niche is pole dancing. Okay. So, I work with pole dancers, I film them, I capture them, I help market their brands, all of that. Okay. But I also help other people as well when it comes to whatever it is that they want to bring to light when it comes to their content, their products. That is what I do. That is who I am. All right. Now, there's also another thing to that. So everybody does not, of course, associate with their business the way that I associate with mine. I am more of a work with what you got, do what you can with what you have right now, and make it pop. Okay, I am not in the life of saying, oh, go ahead and just put a bunch of money into something and you're gonna be successful once you are investing tens of thousands of dollars. I don't believe in it. All right, so it bothers other people in my field when it comes to photography in general that I'm even talking about certain things, and now it makes them be inclined to kind of want to talk shit under my post. All right, so I'm going to talk about what that looks like for everybody else. That is, for one, you could be a beginner when it comes to your photography or videography. You're scared of possibly also saying something to your people because you don't know if other photographers or videographers are going to come at you or going to say something to you. So it kind of makes you apprehensive. All right. And I, for one, have developed a thick skin over time. So it's just not bothering me that much. If anything, I'm like, it's giving me more shit to talk about when it comes to understanding. If they see it, that means the people that actually need the information are also seeing it. So I'm not bothered by either one. All right. So I'm going to jump into what has actually been happening, and then we're going to go into the steps that I've been taking. So let me see if I can bring this closer, because I am talking to two different cameras, and I want to make sure y'all don't feel like I'm looking cross-eyed. I think it's better for the most part. All right. So first and foremost, lately what I've been posting has been a number of things when it comes to photography and videography. So I have an ebook out first and foremost, right? It is for beginner videographers that want to learn their camera, want to learn how to get into the industry, want to learn how to get clients, but they don't know where to start. I created an ebook specifically for them. So what that entails is literally starting from your phone, because that's where I started from. I had my phone first. I was getting bookings with my phone first. And then as time went on, I started saving up more money to get my first DSLR camera. And that's what I currently use right now, which is the Rebel T7. And I still use it, right? Now, the thing is, because I made another post recently, and that's only because of my actual experience, I actually had a client who had paid me $2,000 to be able to create a commercial for them. And I use that same, in all the photographers' eyes, beginner camera to be able to create that content, right? Keep in mind, the client was happy. I'm happy. It didn't require me to have to do so much heavy lifting. I just had to travel to another state to create it. I had to get models together. We did the thing that needed to be done within a couple of hours. I was officially finally paid, and it was good to go, right? But me just talking about that experience was enough for them to say, you know what, you lying. I have some people say that I was bullshitting. I had other people say that, that's not how this works. Why would you take $2,000 and you couldn't just put it towards a new camera? Thank you, Treasure. How you doing? Thank you so much for joining in. We are talking about basically hate online and how you work with it. How can you use it when it comes to marketing your business, right? So for me, after I kept getting those messages of people just saying really nasty things, and a lot of times, unfortunately, it's been from a lot of guys. Like, that's the really interesting part. But for the most part, when I look at the positive side, I've been getting a lot of support. I've been getting a lot of people who say they have the same camera, they just don't know how to use it. So that made me think that there was an actual issue in this industry that people are not addressing. Too many people, when it comes to photographers and videographers, too many, and not everybody, but too many of them are just, their whole focus is just, hey, I need clients, I need clients, I need clients. But then also turn around and say, I don't have a lot of clients. I'm not getting any bookings. My calendar is dry, right? But then after I started making my posts about what I was doing, how I was doing it, specifically with the equipment that I had, then I realized there was also another niche. People who don't know what to do with their camera. And they're not getting a whole lot of assistance. Like, you can only look at some of the YouTube videos. Obviously, as we know, practice makes perfect. But if they're not also having somebody that kind of, in a way, hold their hand, and I'm not trying to be a babysitter, but I'm also like not trying to brush you off and to say, hey, buy my shit, don't come talk to me about nothing else no more, and let that be that. Like, this is where relationships are supposed to take place versus you comment on my post and I send you an auto reply off the rip with a link and we ain't built no rapport, but I'm expecting you to pay for it. You see what I'm saying? So I had to learn over time how this whole system works. Okay. So now I got two sides to that. I got the side that I actually got to feed into the people who are needing this help. And I'm steady having conversations with them. They're in my DMs. They're asking me questions. They're trying to figure out how to do certain things. And I have no problem answering that thing, right? I have multiple ways on how you can learn information from me. Whether it is going through my YouTube channel, which is a barrage of videos, or going through my Patreon, or even, again, buying the ebook, because that's just the step-by-step on how you can be a paid videographer from starting from your phone and going all the way up to gaining that first $2,000 client. Okay, so the things are there. And I have no problem walking you through those steps. All right. So some of the things that I definitely have heard people say when they try to downplay me and my business is I need to get more experience before I start coaching these particular types of things. Or they might say, oh, this looks like trash, right? Or other words that is just like unnecessary. And the first instinct for me, of course, they'll normally be to cuss somebody out, but I'm like, you know what? What's that going to benefit me to do that? To do that on my page, okay? What is that going to do for that? So instead, I may respond by answering maybe the question or clarifying what they thought was going to happen. And instead, what I might do is I might also ask them a question like, hey, okay, well, why do you feel like this is the way that you feel in this particular setting? Most of the time, they might not even answer back unless you are trying to clap back at them, because what's happening is they're trying to engage you in some type of a rage bait conversation. I just don't have time for it. I'm actually in that place now. I'm post therapy, so I don't need to always be in a place of arguing with somebody on my page. So instead, I'm going to kill you with kindness. I'm going to be like, you know what? I'm not tripping. You feel how you want to feel. That's cool. And I'll leave it at that. I'll even just give them a simple, okay, and keep it moving. They get quiet, right? I've had this one guy literally had a whole conversation with me when I told him that this is based on my experience, and he told me to get more experience. Thus, then went ahead and basically tried to kind of like debunk everything I said. And now all I can say is, okay, well, thank you so much for your support. He didn't say nothing else. But then 3 hours later, he's in my stories, looking at all my clips, looking at all my videos. So you mean I'm making an impact? So you mean to tell me that I'm making a difference? You see what I'm saying? What's going on, Big Meech? How you doing, bruh? How you doing? Thank you for stopping by. We are talking about hate on our comments, right? But it's going somewhere. So I'm not just out here to vent. I'm not really just out here to vent. I could really care less. But there's a method to everything, okay? So now the thing that I'm taking with me, okay, when I see these types of things and I'm watching it on a daily, I'm just like, at this point, it's happened so often. It's like every time I turn around and tell my girlfriend, oh my God, I had to block somebody else today. She's like, oh my God, like what the hell is happening? I'm like, I don't even know. I'm honestly just trying to figure this thing out like everybody else. But here he is, and it's just like I just have to figure it out, right? Because at the end of the day, I still have a service to do. I still have to put out content. I still have to talk to some of my people, right? And if other people gonna feel the type of way about it, that's all that can happen. But I can't do anything to make them change up because of that. So, with that being stated, I just stand on business. I just stand on business. Me says, "Hey fam, we on the haters, boy, yeah." Yeah, just cause lately it's been crazy. Like y'all been talking out the side of your neck. Had this one dude literally hit me up and was like, he kept commenting under multiple posts, by the way, and I had to enter in the blocking, so I won't be able to find it here. But he had kept commenting under multiple posts. First, he was like, "Oh, this is good," or "This is great," and then he turned around and say, "Oh, this is giving yikes." And I'm just like, what? But then you also comment "coach" under one of my posts, which is one of my call to actions, so that way you can get more information. So as I would normally do, I say, "Yo, on the comment, I'm gonna hit you up with a DM, right?" So then I personally asked him, I was like, "Yo, how you gonna tell me you looking for a coach or advice, but then you have the audacity to go ahead and talk shit on my other posts?" Then he decided to back his shit up, then turned around and act as if, "Oh, okay, well, I still felt how I felt, but what you teaching though?" I said, "Nah, bro, we ain't finna work. It ain't finna go like that. We ain't finna work. It ain't finna do block, cause I ain't got the time. I ain't got the time. All right." Cora is back on, bruh. Hey, Cora, how you doing, love? Bye. I appreciate you. Who we jumping? Ain't nobody. I ain't jumping nobody. I ain't got no time to be jumping. I got money to make. I got money to make. I'm gonna let these people know though what's happening and what's up and why I don't care, right? But also I'm letting them know like, yo, this is how I handle my business at the end of the day, right? Because people gonna try you. They're gonna try you, but they want you to get out of character. They want you to act up. They want you to move how they expect you to move. But when you don't do it, that fuel is gone. What you gonna do with it? You now at this point you talking to yourself. You can't do shit for me no more. All right. Meech is funny. Got Meech over here, Cora on the other side. Yes, Meech, we are not jumping nobody. Don't worry about it. I seen Kinga Carpet Clean was on here. Thank you so much for joining in. I appreciate that. So now keep in mind there are different types of criticism. There's either constructive criticism or just flat out disrespectful. Okay. So I'm not against constructive criticism. I actually kind of built a lot of my business on that. When I first got started, I was getting advice from everybody. I was taking it every which way. And people were saying, "Hey, you know what? This is what you should do. Try this instead," and all these things. And I was doing that. Like I felt like I needed to because I didn't know where I was at. So I have no issues taking constructive criticism. When you try to come for my neck, that's when we have a problem. Now I have nothing to say to you. There's nothing good that I can say to you at this point. All I can do is ignore you and keep it moving. Okay. So that's kind of how I had to move. Right. And a lot of times, if you feed into that energy, that's where you can get messed up. Okay, because I have seen in the past, I have seen with my clients, like Jada has been through it. I've seen other people that I'm just connected with that I have noticed this as well, where they feed into it. And again, I get it. You ain't trying to let nobody try you on your page. I understand, but it's also in that place of, is it worth it when it comes to, for example, how IG handles shit? Okay, because they can come on your page. You mind your own business. They come on your shit. Then they say something about your shit. Next thing you know, you find yourself in an argument calling them everything in the book, right? And now all of a sudden your shit gets taken down. But you're defending yourself, right? So it's almost as if there's plants being made to fuck with you just to see if you're gonna take the bait. And then if you do take the bait, then it's like it's a penalty for it. It's completely unfair, but that's right now. That's the name of the game when it comes to how you work when it comes. So specifically for IG, I'm pretty sure for TikTok as well, they have their own way of doing shit. But specifically from what I know when it comes to IG, right? So hence why you have to learn, you know what? This ain't even for me. They trying to get me out of whatever. I'm not finna egg into it. I'm not even finna worry about it. And let it be about your business. Block them and keep it moving. Right now, my clients are not doing that because they're realizing like I can't keep losing business and pages because people want to say something and I gotta feel like I gotta also say something. Like you want to be nice and say, I'm not telling you to be the bigger person. I don't care about that. I'm just telling you think about your business. Think about your business. Think about your brand. Put you first. Okay. So if somebody got something to say, let them block them and keep it moving. All right. I won't even worry about it. But if it's a healthy conversation you can have back and forth, go for it. go for it. It creates more engagement, right? But if you feel like it's not, then no, not at all. Because eventually the appeals stop working when you start throwing them to IG and their support team. As we know, they are not the best when it comes to a lot. Some people have lost their whole page altogether, and it's just a downhill. It's just a downhill from there. All right, I see somebody named Cliff Supreme on here, and you've been dropping likes. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for stopping by. I see y'all in here. Like, what is y'all's take on what y'all do when it comes to people throwing hate on y'all's pages, right? Like, how do you guys feel when it comes to that? Like, how do you respond? Or do you feel like you had to change up over time, right? So I do want to see what y'all experiences is. I appreciate that, Cliff. Thank you so much. Yeah, okay. Chorus, I'll block him. Thank you, ma'am, because we don't have time. We don't have time. So if you haven't gotten to that level, you're like, you know what, just block them, leave it on, then you're going to have to get there. You're going to have to keep getting there, because at the end of the day, this is what you need to protect, and that's you and your brand, all right? Meech says, keep killing them with success. That's it. And that's what pisses them off too, right? That's ultimately what makes them mad, is because they seeing that no matter what's going on, you still making it happen? What? Like, who are you? Like, that's the part that I'm like, I need to keep doing what I'm doing. Okay? Keep doing what I'm doing. Keep being who I am. Because apparently I'm doing something right for y'all to just keep having so many words about little old me. All right? Cora says, I'm not a back and forth person. Thank you for the views and blah. That's it. See, I like that mentality. Because that's exactly what you're doing. Because you're probably looking at my video over and over again, so you can find more stuff to talk about. And then you can probably share it to a couple of friends. I got some shares. Instagram don't know the difference. They just know somebody that's supporting the shit. Same thing with TikTok, right? So now that brings me into, because I did talk about how my clients as well, and as you guys know, my clients are mostly pole dancers, performers, right? I did talk about how a lot of them have experienced the same thing. But this is also where it segues into why I am an advocate for ownership. Meaning, if you are in this particular type of industry, specifically for pole dancers, and you have noticed that your page has been having a lot of hits from time to time where somebody is coming and reporting this and reporting that and something getting taken down, you got to rebuild a whole new page and start from scratch again, and it's tiresome, right? And whether it's even pole, it could be anything. You could just be a regular content creator that does spicy content. That's just what that is. This is where I feel like everybody in that particular field should go ahead and start working on building their list. For one, build your email list. And then for two, go ahead and get your own platform, right? And for me, what I would suggest as your own platform would be your own website. I am literally putting a whole series together specifically on that, right? Meech says, because they definitely going to keep watching. They're going to keep watching. So I'm going to let you sit there and watch. This is kind of off topic, but I'm coming back. I had this lady that I used to work with, and she had her own business, right? And it was interesting because she needed me at one point, right? And then she acted like she didn't when I told her that my price went up. But then, don't worry, Corey, I got you, because I got a whole series that's taking place. So I'm gonna tell you about it in a second. So what ended up happening is, after I ended up leaving, I basically just quit the whole thing. I was like, I'm tired of this. I don't want to be part of it. So I left the whole thing, and next thing you know, she just keeps watching my stories over and over again. I don't know if there's looking to see if I'm going to say something about them or trying to keep up with what I got going on. I don't know. Either way, I took her off as a follower. So at this point, you have to follow me back to be able to see anything I got going on. And I think I also blocked her too, just because sometimes you even get tired of seeing the same people watching, but that's all they're doing is just watching. Like, at that point, just get off. Go away. So back to these, I call it censorship to ownership. How you doing, Black educated lesbians? Thank you so much for stopping in. I appreciate it. So when it comes to this particular series, it is geared towards helping entertainers, helping business owners who, again, have issues when it comes to keeping content up on their page, right? Or Instagram is just always bothering. They got so many strikes to where you've had to create multiple pages, or maybe a backup page to a backup page, and it's too much. So instead of you having to continue worrying about that, still keep those platforms, by the way. Don't get rid of them, because what we're going to do is what I've actually have telling my people, because I got a list already of people who signed up, and I've been sending weekly videos to them. But you can jump in as well, Cora. Just send me your information, and I'll add you into that list. And basically what they're doing is they're building their own platform through that series. I'm showing you how to literally back up your content from all your platforms, then going from the backing up the content, creating a backup page. Once you do that, making sure that you go ahead and create your platform. I'm actually showing people how to create websites. Yes, I am definitely going through those steps. Then I'm going through showing you how to create a list. That was last week's. This week, we're going to be talking about how to create the ecosystem, basically having the whole system work for itself. So now you know how to go from getting people from Instagram, having them join your email list, and ultimately staying on your website. That way you can get the attention and the analytics and the views on there, and ultimately also be able to attract other people on there as well. Amish, I just saw what you just did. So I don't know if you're using two devices, but now you on TikTok. This dude too cool for me. So that was funny. I had to say something about that. But now the last thing is going to be bringing it all together. Meaning we're going to put content on there. I'm going to show you how to monetize that content. I'm going to show you how to go ahead and ultimately make it a long-term goal for you. Make it in the longevity. Because keep in mind, Instagram wasn't always here. Just like guys, we know MySpace trying to make a comeback. MySpace had to go and do what they needed to do as well after some time. And then, of course, Facebook, it is what it is. All these platforms aren't going to be here forever, right? But at the end of the day, when you look at what is going to happen with your particular content, and because you do not have any control over what can happen, that Instagram or anybody else can say, you know what, we're just going to take down all these people. Like, forget it. Don't even worry about it. Just get rid of y'all. Then you're going to be stuck trying to figure out what to do because this may be your bread and butter. I don't want you to have to worry about that no more. Come over here. I'm going to bring you into my censorship to ownership series. It's a whole playlist of videos so that you can just follow along and watch. It is currently free. Like, go ahead and jump in on there and take those steps to build your own platform because it is necessary. It is necessary and it is needed. Do not rely on all these platforms to be your one and only stop. All right. This is your teaser. These are your previews. It's like when it comes to movies, they are renting space on these streaming platforms, on these TVs, so that it can take you from one thing to the theaters to make their money. Your website is your theater. Your website is your theater. Okay. So that's on that. All right. Now to bring it back to the haters conversation, the owners owning your own platform, bring it all back together and it comes to marketing. Why does this matter? Why do I need to worry about this? How does this even connect? Okay. So how I personally look at it, right? And it took me a few days to figure out how I was going to piece all this together because I had all the pieces, but I'm like, it's not hitting the way that I wanted to hit. And it was a reason for it. And now I think I finally got why and how it's hitting. Ultimately, you are creating this ecosystem. You know how I mentioned that? And it comes to your the censorship to ownership. In here, when it comes to having these haters, it's telling you a few things. At first, it's telling you your hook is working for a damn show. People are looking at the hook, and because of that hook, they're like, oh, wow, okay, I need to challenge her, right? I need to say something about her because ain't no way in hell she's doing all of this, all right? So, and here come Lushy. All right, Lush, what's going on? So everybody's on here tonight. Welcome. Thank you guys for stopping by. I appreciate it. Hey, Lush, how you doing, love? So, talking about haters today, okay? I know we all got some, but now we're talking about what is the benefit of having them and what does that mean and say about us, okay? Especially when it comes to marketing. So, how I see it is telling you your hook is working, how you're posting certain things, to talk about certain things is working. Specifically when it came to my content, that means I'm challenging what do you call it? I'm challenging a mindset. I'm challenging a mindset that have everybody in a bunch to where this is not what they were ultimately used to seeing. And because I'm not talking like everybody else, I'm not being as technical as all the people that's been in the game for 20, 30 plus years and keep telling you that's how long they've been in the game. I'm just here just saying, you know what? This is what I have done. I did not wait on permission to start getting into my bag. I just went ahead and got it. I tried out a bunch of different things. And then I started posting about it nonstop. That's it. That's all I'm doing. I'm not doing nothing extracurricular like anybody else. I am really just showing up. And I don't know if it has anything to do with the fact that because this is literally my 9 to 5. I do not have a 9 to 5. Okay, this is all that I do. I do this and I create content. I do this, I create content. and my bills are paid, right? But some people can't fathom that to be the case because for some reason I still have to put $10,000 out just to have the right amount of equipment to make things happen. Do you guys see what I have in my room right now? Temu, what that light right there? Temu, they're right here. Amazon, that monitor right there. Amazon. They ain't costing me a whole arm and a leg, but I knew what I wanted. I knew what look I needed, and I made it happen. Okay, I know a lot of people, they're afraid. They're afraid to figure it out. They're afraid to try it out. They're afraid to mess up in front of people. I'm not, because I got goals. I got shit I got to do. I got money I need to make. I need to get better with my craft, and I'm not going to let nobody stop me. So that's the mindset that a lot of people are afraid to tap into, because some people do have a fallback. Some people do have a backup plan. Okay, I don't. I don't really. So only thing I'm doing right now, on top of this, I'm in school for IT stuff because I just love computers. All right. And who knows where that's going to take me. So right now, I'm also mixing that in with my business. All right. Because at the end of the day, security is king. Okay. Everybody that's jumping in on Instagram, I appreciate y'all coming through. Thank you guys so much. If you guys also have haters and you want to talk about what that look like, what you guys do to respond to them, please let me know in the comments. Lushy says, pop out the bag on them, boo. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. I'm not doing nothing else, but I'm also trying to help people along the way who want to learn something, okay? Because it's nothing to give value. It's nothing to give some free information, because at the end of the day, if there's more stuff that you want to learn, you already know where to come get it at. I got you. I got all the things available for you to go ahead and get that, right? Me say they want to be where we are, so they try to diminish our highs with low quality comments. Talk about that. Talk about that. That's low vibration at its finest. Low vibration. Like, why? Why do we have to be like this, right? Desire Media. What's going on, Franklin? How you doing? Thank you so much for stopping by. I love this man. He's always supporting. I appreciate that. I'm pretty sure I'm going to see you this Thursday too, right? Thursdays are my photography mistakes, which brings me to my next topic, right? And it's not really a topic, but it's telling you guys why I have no issues being upfront, being transparent, all of that. I'm not even just saying be authentic. I don't care what you do. Just be you, whatever that looks like. All right. So photography mistakes, stumble over my words. Photography mistakes is something that I host on Thursdays, right? I did my first one last Thursday. Cora was there to give me a lot of love and was out there basically just supporting me while I did my photography, literally in my living room. I had a couple of products that I had to do a commercial for like a couple months ago, and I just decided I wanted to do a photo shoot for them and went through my settings, talked about all of that. The beauty of what I do on there is it allows me to mess up on camera, all right? Franklin says, I see you out here doing your thing. You already know, man. I'm going to find it. I'm going to find something. I'm going to make it happen, okay? And keep in mind, these are the relationships I've made. For those who are like watching, these are the relationships I have made, all right? They'll cost you way more than having a client that's going to be a one-off client. Having relationships will take you a lot of different places. Mark my words, all right? So photography mistakes is where I get the fuck up ultimately. And there's been times where I've been on camera and I'm like, oh damn, I don't know how to do this. Wait, let me try this out. And I'll try this out. The beauty of that is I don't have to do that with the client. That's why I do that on there. I don't have to do that with the client. I don't have to sit there and make the client look at me like, has she done this before? I don't have to, because I can do it in front of the world, right? Now, mind you, there was a strategy to it. My YouTube is not so crazy when it comes to having so many people watching me, right? So I use that to my benefit, but it also gave me content to post on my YouTube channel. So it's one of those things like, are you okay with doing that? And then, of course, what does that look like for you? Even if somebody were to show up, either give you support or try to talk down on what you're doing, right? It's about being able to be okay with people seeing. Sometimes you just don't know. And I'm not telling you that I know everything, because my goal is not to tell you that I know everything, because I don't. I'm still learning, but I'm going to keep better as I'm learning, and you're going to watch me. Okay. So now I feel like that was a lot, and we almost done. And I feel like I'm about to wrap it up actually. All right. So ultimately, and I seen a couple of, I got a couple of photographers that I really look up to, that I have seen and all over his Instagram, for example. And because of my posts heading up the way that they have been taking notice to me. which is a big deal for me, right? Now, keep in mind, I am not also a person that kind of worships anybody because of the fact that sometimes you don't need to meet your idols, and we know why, right? So I leave them at that. I don't do a whole lot more than just a simple comment every once in a while and keep it going, right? But I appreciate it. But it lets me know, it says that I'm doing something, I'm reaching the right people, right? And I'm sparking attention, okay? Lushy says, one thing I learned from you is everything is content. Everything is content. Everything is content. Like, yes, I'm glad you learned that, right? And of course, being mindful, because everything does not need to be shared. I had to learn that the hard way. But ultimately, when it comes to my business, yeah, everything is content. And you'd be surprised what people actually attract themselves to. So do not be hesitant to just share something that relates to what you do and how you do it, all right? So now, with that particular photographer that I had been looking at, actually had made a post, and she makes a lot of motivational posts anyway, but basically was saying, you are not for everybody, and that's okay. Something that I live by. Once I learned how to stay in my own lane is when I started getting the most attention. Is when I started getting the most bookings. When I stopped looking at everybody else and trying to compare myself to other photographers, other videographers, and I started really supporting others, that's when my price tag started going up. Well, that's when my value started going up. That's when people started seeing me as now as somebody who is an expert in their field versus somebody who's just trying to figure it out. Even though half the time I am trying to figure it out. But I also am not doing it on somebody else's dollar and time. I'm doing it on my own, okay? So that way, when I come to you, I'm already prepared, all right? So that is something I need you guys to also pay attention to and try to do for yourselves, whatever that looks like. Pole dancing, burlesque. As you guys know, we have practice sessions. I got a class tomorrow morning where Jada's going to whip my ass, and that's going to be what that is. But I know it's going to be beneficial for me down the line, right? It's the same thing when it comes to what I do and what everybody else does in their niche when it comes to getting better and staying in your lane. Sticking with what works for you, sticking what makes you the best at what you do, because can't nobody duplicate you. One thing I do not care for when it comes to, I'm not going to bring this up when it comes to pole work, because that's a whole different topic. But when it comes to certain people saying they don't like that somebody else is doing something because they're doing it, they done it first. They can't replicate your sauce, baby. They can't copy you being you because they don't know how to be you. They ain't had the experience that you had. They ain't had the trials and tribulations that you had that made you who you are. So they can copy and duplicate all they want to, but they can't do it what you do, and they can't do it how you do it. Right? Franklin says, that is correct. What's for you is for you. Find your niche and be the best you can be at it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I have fought tooth and nail to not just be only for pole. And guess where I'm at? At pole, okay? For whatever reason in my mind, I was like, well, I don't see a lot of people talking about it. It's not a lot of people that's in it. But I didn't realize I was already in the gold mine and didn't even know it. I'm waiting for everybody else to jump on the same thing that I'm doing when I could be one of the pioneers doing that said thing. Meaning that demand is mostly going to be surrounded either around me or near me. And I don't need everybody else to do it because I'm already in it. Okay? So same thing when it comes to whatever you're doing. If you're like one of the few people that's doing it in your lane, embrace it. Don't look at it as, oh my God, nobody else is doing this. Is it something I should be doing? Can I make money off of it? Embrace it. It was meant for you. You were supposed to be the first one. So go for it and try it out. Mess up along the way, but just keep going. Keep going. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. So, cause I ramble. First of all, I ramble. So I always have ChatGPT give me an outline. I go off on chat and then I'm like, break this down in the outline so that it makes sense. And I'll get a whole outline. And I think I'm good on it right now. But nonetheless, at the end of the day, how I look at it as if there is not a need for what you do, people would not hit you up. If there was not a need for what you do, people would not come and see you. If there was not a need for what you do, haters would not come and say some shit about you. Okay. Franklin says, but when people come to the town for pole work, You are always in the conversation. Hey, tell people about you. Yeah, I do hear that a lot. But it goes back to what I just said, right? I didn't expect that I was gonna be one of those people, but I'm here. But I'm here because I travel. I connect a lot of studios, a lot of studio owners. So it just works out for me. It makes sense for me. Okay. Thank you so much for stopping in. This is She Is Bodacious. Thank you so much for dropping in here. I appreciate you guys. All right. So let me know. Let me know. Because I know again I'll talk my head off, talk y'all's head off. Like, how do y'all feel about that? Like the whole thing. Like, do you feel like if we stop thinking about just the level of the haters and start really thinking about, okay, if there's a hater here, that means that there's more, even more supporters right behind it. I just got to tap into that, right? Do you feel like that is true in your case? And how would you want to embrace that and do more of that? Because I know it's easy to be afraid because somebody's talking about you, put you on the spot, and now you got to show to whoever that's watching in the comments, is she going to say something? Is she going to go off on them? Like, who was it recently that went going off? Chloe. Chloe, first of all, I love her. But Chloe Bailey was going off on people talking shit about her. Some people, they can do that. They can rock with it. They can make it happen and nothing happens. But you got to pick your battles. That's how I see that as well. All right. I think that's all I got. I ain't going to lie to y'all. That's all I got. So, that being stated, Thursday, I have Photography Thursdays. Photography Mistakes is what it's called. Photography Mistakes. And, of course, as you guys know, if you guys want to see me mess up online, mess up live without any edits, come to YouTube, right? I'm also going to be on TikTok, trying to make this into a thing as far as TikTok. As you guys see, I'm on TikTok today too, right? Last time I made 9 cents. I was so happy. I made 9 cents. Pretty sure it had everything to do with Quora sending me all them likes, but thank you, love. I can split it with you if you want. So there's that. I have never gotten a penny from Instagram doing these lives. I just use it for content at this point. And that's fine because the content still helps a lot because I get a lot of attention through that too. Then tomorrow I'm gonna try to do. I was attempting. I don't know if I'm gonna do it, but it's supposed to be trying to do like a TikTok Tuesdays to probably talk about my ebook, the videography ebook. I've been hearing that going live on TikTok to sell your digital products is like the way to go. So I'm trying to do that tomorrow and see what that does. Right? Maybe work up a script and go from there. And then, of course, Thursday gonna be what it's gonna be, and then I'm chilling the rest of the week. That's for the most part. That's pretty much it. All right, so thank you guys so much for stopping by. I appreciate every last one of you guys. This has been eventful, like eventful as hell, right? But I will see you guys on next week. All right, thank you guys so much. I'll check with you guys later.